All right, in this video, we are going to take it another step along. Okay, we send our file off to be shared with our client, and that worked great. Okay, but let's say we're going to be sharing this with other colleagues. Okay, you're working in a UX design team, okay, at a company, and there's more than one of you working on documents. Okay, so I need to share this with somebody that can actually start working on the project, and we kind of work together. To do that, we need to introduce something called teams and team projects. So we got so far with just the drafts and using our sharing. So we look in here, kind of gave us an indication, right? If I want to share, I can send it to say Doug, and I want him to be an editor, but it says, hey, first to be an editor, you need to move it to a team project. I'm gonna click close. Up here it says it as well. Do you want to move this file? Okay, a lot of things are indicating needs to be in a team. So let's go and look at that the manual way. We can move it and it will automatically happen, but let's have a look the long way just so you can understand it better. So back at my little home house here, we've been working in drafts. You can have unlimited drafts, a bazillion drafts. Okay, eventually though, if you want to be sharing it with other people and working on it, you need to move it into one of your projects. Yours will be named differently depending on how you set up Figma. Okay, but this is called a team. Okay, think of a team as like a project, like Scott Headphones. As a freelance UX designer, you probably have about 20 teams or 30 teams, okay, for different companies. Some companies only need one team with lots of projects inside of it. Okay, and the projects might be things like, hey, there's the mobile website, the desktop website, it might be some social media stuff we're working on, it might be some flyers that we've made, okay, or the redesign of that web page, and then redesign again. Lots of different projects. Okay, so you share the kind of company-wide team with the different people. Okay, so I can go to members and say, I want to invite you, and you to this team. And inside of this projects, we're going to have desktop, mobile, January sale, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, those are the basic overview of what teams and the projects are. So let's go back to this. Okay, so we've been given, yours will be different. Okay, the name will be different. But you've been given, inside your team, there's already a team project. It's this thing here. You can view it that way or this way. It's the same thing. Okay, we're going to delete it for the moment and create our own. They've given you like a pre-made team project with stuff in it. We can open it, have a look. Okay, this is the default one for Figma at the moment. Okay, and there's just a bunch of styles. Okay, lots of things going on in here, different assets. Okay, it is, yeah. It's kind of useful. I find it's jumping in probably way too much for a newbie. So we're going to close it down, and you can keep it if you want. You don't have to. Back to home. I'm going to get rid of this project. Right click it, delete it. Sorry, team project. I'm going to create my own create my own project. Okay, and this one is going to be the e-commerce. It has to be lowercase e for some reason. E-commerce website. Okay. And let's create it. Now, all we need to do is this draft in here, the one we're working on, mine's called Scott Ecom 1. I can just drag it into this project, and that will unlock the editing. Okay, and you're like, why? What's the difference between drafts and this kind of like team with a team project with a file inside that team project? This unlocks some of the features, okay, so that I can actually collaborate with that person. I've still got that file open. Nothing's really changed except, can you see it's not in drafts anymore, it's in that project. And now when I go into share, I can do more. I can allow people to edit. So I can say, okay, Doug, we don't really want to edit, but let's say Victoria, okay. Victoria is somebody I work with, another UX designer. I could send her email address in here and she could start editing this thing. So why do I show you all of this? Because it pops up quite a bit, and it's one of those breakpoints where you go from free to paid, okay? Because let's have a look. Let me show you. So back at home, okay, remember drafts? You can have as many files in your drafts as you like, but if you want to share it with another collaborator, it has to be moved out to here, okay? And I've got a team. That team can only have one team project. Inside of that team project, you can only have 3 files. So that's where they kind of, that's where you move from going, okay, I need to pay for this, okay, because it's great having one project, but I need 2 of them, the e-commerce website and this other app that I'm building for them, or this other kind of subsection that I want to break apart rather than just jamming them in the same project. Okay, now in terms of the files, yeah, you're gonna need more than 3 pretty quickly. Now this changes. Go to figma.com/pricing and they will show you what you get. Okay, actually I'll bring it up here. This is what it looks like at the moment. It will change. Okay, it says free, you're allowed unlimited drafts, but you're only allowed 1 team project, okay, and you're only allowed 3 files within that project. There's a few other things as well, but this is where you might bump up to the paid product. There are ways around it, and a lot of people do. You're weirdly allowed at the moment unlimited teams. Okay, so I could have a zillion different teams with 1 project and 3 files in it. And you can see how that works, and you can see how it might be a bit cumbersome as well. But it is pretty amazing what you get for free out of this Figma. Again, these rules will change. Go and check figma.com/pricing to see what is available and what's not. So to reiterate, okay, I've got this. I can share it when it's in drafts. Okay, I can move it back to drafts. I can say, I'm finished with this project now, and I'm gonna be sneaky and move it back to drafts, okay, so that I don't have to pay. Okay, the trouble with it though is anybody that was an editor can't see it anymore. Okay, it comes out of their Figma and goes into drafts, and I have to kind of share it this way. There we go. Okay, kind of like Doug. He can view it, he can comment on it, but he can't be a co-collaborator on it. So, pros and cons. There are a few other things that a paid version gives you that we'll throw out the course, but that's one of the big ones. 1 team, 1 team project, and 3 files only. All right, that's it. I hope that helped. That really confused me at the beginning of like, this screen here. Confused the heck out of me. Drafts, this thing, I can create more teams, what goes in here. So I hope that helps. I'm gonna leave mine back in drafts for the moment. So if you have dragged it out, put it back into drafts. You can just drag it, click, hold, drag it from one to the other, and we'll resume our regular scheduled free version of Figma in the next video. All right, I'll see you there.